Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek Bytes podcast. This is episode 117. I'm Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And every single week on the podcast, we bring you the roundup of the week's geek and tech news, we got that news, and of course anything else that we're interested in that week.
In Geek News this week, we'll talk about the death of the MP3, Schindlers List, the Disney Ransom, Black Panther, and Thor film Synopsis, and the movie trailer Showdowns, and much, much more.
Yep, and that's going to be Shinder's List, not Schindler's List.
I'll go with Schindler.
There's a difference, and it's going to be funny, hopefully. My puns galore.
Schindler.
Yeah. Going to quick shout out to Hans Lemuse joining us live on our Facebook stream. So, hey, Hans.
I always love seeing him. Hi. Hey, Hans. A little shout out to yourself, man.
Absolutely. But we should begin our show, though, with Geek News. And we're, of course, going to begin our show, though, with the news about the death of the MP3. It's not a long story. It died. Basically, the Fraunhofer Institute, a patent holder for MP3 encoders, announced that it will be ending its licensing program for the audio format. The Fraunhofer's MP3-related patents have already expired. So basically, they're not going to develop any more technology for MP3s because their patents have expired, which means it's open to public domain, which is great for people, but part of their statement was there are better codecs out there to compress audio files now. MP3 had its time, and now it's past. But hey, as far as I'm concerned, I actually still record this podcast and store it as an MP3.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll have to look into something else. But it's still a rather popular format with people who listen to music just because they're used to it. It's easy. It's as simple as encoding as like a right mouse click. So it's very popular, even though it's not going to get any better.
Trust me, it's just an involvement in technology, but it's not something like hardware.
Yeah.
It's not like how obviously media has changed from...
It's code.
Yeah, from like the cassette to the CD to the,
It's sort of like that, actually.
Yeah, but in a software
digital form.
Exactly, because that's a thing where...
And honestly, most people are never going to notice.
Totally.
If all of iTunes switched from MP3 to AAC, they would never know the difference as long as, they don't have any music playback problems.
The latest version that I saw, it was like the history of I guess, music, if you will, was they still, very few places, not just still make CDs, but the latest upgrade in technology, they actually had albums on a micro SD card.
Yeah.
Which is, to me...
Which is fine.
It's fine, but there's no real reason that nobody now has to have.
Digital streaming is so easy.
Yeah, to physically pop out some kind of cartridge or of any kind of format to pop in. When back in the days, like the CD's done or whatever, you had to literally pop up your thing, take out your disc, load it in.
Who wants to be popping stuff all the time anymore? Yeah, absolutely.
I just don't think it's going to be too cryptic. I think it's still going to be available to the public, even around this time when like Napster and whatnot, the file sharing started. I don't think it's going to go away. I think MP3 players, just because it's going to be a simple format on this.
I think that it'll just change formats, and they're not going to be called MP3 players; they're just music players. And I don't see the necessity of being a separate thing. You have your phone. Your phones are your music players. Mm-hmm. At some point in our past, they were separate. Now they're the same. My phone is everything. It's my camera recording equipment. It's my audio recording equipment. I do my video editing on my camera on my phone. I do all my research. I've literally written stories on that phone. Typing. I do plenty of show notes stuff on there. So it's like my small computer that it's slightly difficult to type in.
I just want to see an evolution in form and the quality.
Yeah.
Because like some people still love the old school vinyls. They say they get a more wholesome sound with a vinyl
that's
record.
fine. But I mean, don't expect like massive sales from vinyl records. No. It's a collector's thing. It's like
it's a vintage.
And MP3 players might be that same thing. Like, oh look, I have this ancient Walkman or MP3 player.
Like spoilers if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. He upgrades to a spoiler Zune at the end of the movie. Yeah.
And
I'm like, to me, I'm like, just keep the cassette player.
They should have, but I don't know. I kind of feel like they're going to commercialize it and they're going to try to bring it back.
I feel like the Zune is like, it was the marketing from Microsoft.
Yeah, it totally was. Because that was their competition for the iPod.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, whatever.
So I feel like, I think it's going to make a comeback in one way or another.
Yeah, I'm like, it's fine.
But once again, everything's on your phone, so you really don't need it.
No, no. Okay. Yep. So on to our next story. Schindler's List.
Yeah. Tinder has filed a notice of threatened opposition to the application for a trademark from a competing dating app called Shinder. Shinder was designed by Simov, and he is the only male available on the platform. Oh my god! He also received a letter from lawyers representing the elevator firm Schindler,
Yep.
requesting he not enter the elevator or escalator market.
Yeah, this is just a fun story. Real quick, Hans Limu in the chat room says, "Do you think eventually they're going to stop making music CDs altogether?" I'm surprised that they still do. Like I believe as far as like shares of market space, as far as music purchases go, CDs have a very small share compared to digital analogs.
Yeah.
More and more CDs are becoming more like older vinyl records where you get extra things in them. You get extra bonus tracks or videos or extra vinyl inserts.
Go to any music section.
Yeah, they become collector's items or just things for like real big fans apparently.
The bands like
yeah. At some point, it's just vinyl hasn't gone out of production. So from the same point of view, I don't think CDs are going to go entirely out of production. They're just going to be less. They're more of a collector's item.
Exactly like that. Unless you're a fan, you will buy their album.
Yeah.
It has something to format. I think the only thing that makes them now more collector's item, especially for band wise, not just giving you exclusives, but they even with books, they kind of personalize them. And personalizing is actually physically autographing the book.
That could be it. I mean, it's especially marked just because it costs more to make a CD than it does just to give something through the internet as a digital download. So as far as production costs, it makes less sense to make them as well.
They call it just a limited amount collector's edition run.
Yeah, make it a little more. That's the way to do it. Made them like Disney lithographs.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, there you go. But as far as Shinder goes, I thought this was a hilarious story that one guy made an app basically as his own dating service.
Nice.
And then Tinder sent him a cease and desist order. I was like, the fact that the guy has enough money to do it himself, and that he had enough popularity that it got on Tinder's radar. I'm like, good for him, I guess.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. But it would be different if he's trying to make
money.
It's
like every geek's dream. Like, oh, I just have an app for me. Like, people will date me. That's it. Ta-da!
Hey, people used to do this old school. I don't know if you remember the old video dating service.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on the Goldbergs recently. Like if you go through like their old season, like it's in season 1, I think, where they show video dating. So I'm like, oh yeah, I remember those.
Oh yeah,
those ads on television.
Because that's the thing that people don't do though. Especially, don't get me wrong, everybody has a Tinder account or some kind of dating app, but it's just a picture. Even your Facebook, it's just a picture. But nobody does a video of themselves unless it's a audition for some kind of show, which is pretty much it is for the dating service.
Yeah. And Hans asks, my niece asked me what a music CD was, and I felt really old. Lol. Hans, I hear you, man. At least she didn't ask you what like a VHS tape was, or Betamax, or
what was worse is that video that.
Or it's like, hey, what's that thing? That guy in the Guardian of the Galaxy was using.
Yeah, that video that was circulating of these kids trying to figure out how to use a cassette tape and how to like. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's just gonna happen more and more as technology progresses faster and faster. It's these things are going to become out of date very quickly.
Oh yeah, thankfully we kind of evolve with the times, but we don't know what's going to happen. That's the thing about these kids, especially now that, like I said, we're kind of older. Don't get me wrong, technology is awesome, but none of these fuckers can build one.
Yeah, Hans, just make sure she doesn't ask you about Tinder. That would be much more creepy.
Apps.
Yeah, that's creepier.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay, next story we have Facebook.
It's a thing.
That's me. Okay, Facebook is now making. I forgot to color code these, so no worries. We're just going off the cuff here, folks. We're
going raw.
We're rebels, raw. Yeah. Facebook is now making it easier for you to order food from your favorite restaurants directly from its app, without having to navigate away to a delivery service or a restaurant's own app. Essentially, there's a new button on your Facebook stream that says "Order Food." It looks like a little hamburger, and if you press it, it's basically going to connect to other services like Delivery.com or Slice. And it will give you all that same information, only you're never going to have to leave Facebook. And so you can literally see all the prices. You can order from there. They will charge you through your Facebook account if you have the credit card with them already set up there. And they will deliver it to your home. You just give them the address, of course. And it's all done within the app, so you never have to leave your Facebook stream or your games or whatever you're doing on Facebook, Facebook stalking, whoever. you can do both at once now and get food delivered to you. So that's kind of cool in my opinion. I mean, if you have services out here where we live, which we won't say in public because we have stalkers occasionally.
Canada.
That's right. We have great healthcare coverage up here, eh?
Who you took in the boots?
Yeah. But we only have like one pizza restaurant, which is like, I don't know, I feel like 15, 20 miles away. And it's like a 10-minute drive for them to get to us. I'm like, oh, that's the one thing. Oh, well. So I guess it works better if you have actual population centers.
Canadian pizza.
But it's cool.
No, I like it. And one thing I was, once again, I must be getting old and loving the NPR. One thing, especially industry-wise, for work-wise, there's a surgence of how do I describe it? People services. You know, don't get me wrong. There's it's less factory jobs and stuff, but now it's all about making the human life more comfortable, more how do you say, a lifestyle that people want now. Like instead of nobody really has to cook.
Okay,
anymore.
give me an example of what you mean, because I'm thinking
people services.
I'm thinking in my mind, we've always been about making life more comfortable for people ever since we invented the wheel and started growing food in gardens instead of like foraging.
Well, back in the days, you would have to leave your house for a lot of things. But now with evolution, honestly, everything is literally a click away from your phone.
Okay.
Unless you're talking about like food.
Okay.
Unless you lived in a big metropolitan city, I have never experienced Chinese takeout as in it brought to me. I never saw the guy on a Vespa, moped, or whatever driving up, bringing that in. But you can pretty much get anything delivered for you. There's this. Did you watch the Invincible
Kimmy Schmidt? Yeah.
Yeah, there's that one app called the TaskRabbit where they'll do pretty much everything for you.
That's real, yes.
Yeah. You type that in,
I want this thing, someone in my area, and they will do whatever you ask, within reason. Of course, you just agree for a price and actual instructions, and sometimes you have to talk to them on the phone about it. Mm-hmm. But people are willing to be paid to tasks.
Exactly.
And this is a slightly different topic, but I've seen this in the writing community done quite a few times for advertising purposes. Mm-hmm. Like people in like Uganda or in like Greece, pay them $5 on like Fiverr, and they'll like have some pretty girl and a sign with your book's title or your something,
logo, or whatever.
Or whatever, and simple things that I think that's what the YouTuber PewDiePie got in trouble for, was that he was on his show. Was trying to prove like how stupid this is, and he paid people like $5 in some other country, and they were like writing signs with like racial slurs.
Oh.
And his point was like to show like exactly how far people will go for money, especially when they have none, and how privileged we are in our country. We can give $5, and it's a joke for us, but for them it's like food and bread for the week or for the couple of days. And he sort of got in trouble and lost his Disney sponsors.
Very insensitive.
So in that respect, like the gig economy, very much more and more a thing, especially with automation coming more and more. I feel like transportation stuff, automated cars, going to put a ton of people out of work.
Yep.
And it's just a fact.
So it's just pretty much going to be just the evolution of the food industry now.
Not just food. It's just like, transportation, food, a lot of jobs that we take for granted nowadays as being people-centric, with things like voice recognition, artificial intelligence. More and more of those jobs are going to go away slowly, and you're probably it's going to be so slow that you're not going to notice.
Exactly.
Yeah. So sad. Sorry. Went from funny haha to oh no, where's my job?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But find something that works. For what I'm listening onto the radio, childcare, because everybody's going to have a kid. Somebody's going to have a kid. So, unless they're working themselves, somebody needs to raise that kid.
Me, I choose to go with the creative writing. I mean, it worked for me.
It works.
Okay, next story. Speaking of some creative stuff happening, that's you, man.
Yeah.
Down.
Okay, a little further. And there I am. All right. Disney CEO Bob Iger reportedly told ABC employees Monday that the company is being asked to pay ransom in Bitcoin for an upcoming movie. The upcoming movie will be leaked online. Excuse me. Disney reporting does not intend to pay. Deadline reports the movie is Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Yep, so basically it's in production. They probably got a hold of their cloud-based footage system, or somebody just downloaded like the raw footage, and they're like, hey, pay us money or we're going to sell it online. And Disney's like, we're cool, thanks.
It's going to make money. It's going to make money.
Yeah. Like, Disney's, like, I doubt Disney is really concerned about, like, not making money on a Pirates of the Caribbean film. Like, they're not amazing works of art in the first place, and a lot of it's CG. So the part that they probably had got hacked on was the pre CG part. So it's it's a lot of people in
people
like
in
green suits walking around. I'm like, yeah, nobody's gonna want to.
Yeah, no.
I mean, somebody will download it and watch it, of course,
Oh
but
yeah, of course.
it's not going to be like the most popular thing. So I doubt Disney's too concerned. I just think it's interesting. Even Disney gets hacked.
Oh yeah, everybody.
And Hans' suggestion is leak it.
That's fine. You know, don't get me wrong. There's bootleg anything like that, but you know, you can't get mad at movie makers. Like I like what was his name? Oh God, D.L. Hughley.
Okay.
He's like you can't get mad at me for soul playing. I can't refund bootleg money.
Yeah.
So you know that's the thing. You watch for whatever you want to pay for.
Yeah, no, absolutely. There's always going to be a black market for movies like that. Especially, I mean, you pay $20 to get into the theater with like one date, if you're lucky, on matinee night, and of course it's going to be a bootleg version of it out somewhere because people can't afford to pay it.
And it's been showing that they're proving they're speeding up the process of they're milking it as much as they can to have it out in the theater for the theater experience, but give it a month or so, DVD or digital download.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's just reality. And it's just the audience base is for theaters and for out of home experiences is shrinking more and more as your home becomes more theater like.
Exactly.
Like, I mean, most people in the United States have flat screen televisions, or they have good TVs that will play HD films very easily. And so to ask them to leave that investment to go outside in the sweltering heat, to stand in line, to pay $30 for a bucket of popcorn and a soda,
put up with some
people talking in the background. That seems a little extreme when they can literally stream from their phone or from their console or from their whatever that exact same movie to the television and have a great meal with their family at home. It is kind of asking a lot. So you have to make that experience better, and then they can get it home.
It's like, the only reason I think people really go and watch a movie out in the theater anyway, not just for that experience, but to be that first person. Mm-hmm. It's like the first response post for whatever video that's out there. They want to talk about it. They want to be the ones that are like, oh, I saw it, and blah blah blah. Be that little exclusive group. The first timers.
Yeah, and again, that's part of the experience. Sentiment. Okay, so on to our next story, which is going to be Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Terminator. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger just announced that he'll be starring in the next Terminator movie, which nobody seems surprised about. But it is a glimpse into hope that this next Terminator movie is not going to suck, because he will be reuniting with James Cameron, who, remember, he has recently regained the rights to the Terminator franchise. And so he can actually make the movies that he wants to make because he now owns the property.
Awesome.
So Arnold and, James Cameron.
I want to check that out because honestly, Terminator 2, even now, even at its
the
time,
best
was,
of
exactly
all the movies. Yeah,
it
absolutely.
was so advanced. The CG was good compared to even the current movies. It was way ahead of its time. Quality, the acting, the story, it just made you like fall in love. Wanted to see more of it, and of course, they didn't give you as good quality with the further sequels of that franchise. But I don't know. The thing with me is Arnold, even though they've done the CG younger Arnold,
he's a little old. Yeah, I mean, I think he fits better into the Expendables. But at the same point, he now has old man. I mean, it's almost old man Logan for the Terminator, because they worked it in the story that the Terminators age. Mm-hmm. Just like regular people, because they have real flesh. Mm-hmm. So they kind of explain away how the Terminator looks so old. And it works. It becomes a father figure. I'm like, okay, I guess that kind of works. I don't know if they're going to keep that, or if he's just going to be old man Logan in the Terminator franchise. I am curious. Yeah. But Hans Zimmer says he tripped out how fast he was able to download the Blu-ray of Beauty and the Beast, and about time that James Cameron is coming back to the franchise. So there you go. Thanks, Hans, for your chance.
Yeah, because honestly, there's those camera bootleg ones, and unless you're willing to put up with the heads walking by or a little.
Oh no, it's usually like somebody like Russia or like China who just has the good camera, and they film it, and those are plenty watchable.
Yeah.
Or like somebody downloads a digital copy from the theater, like they work there or something.
Yeah, I wonder how it works like for the people that actually work in the production on it, and very spy-ish whatever, as they're doing a production or whatever, plug in their little
It's a USB. It's as simple as that.
It's like dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dun, dun. Very Mission Impossible kind of deal. And
it's a very short Mission Impossible, as in click, transfer done. Done. Yeah,
Then
it's
all
not
a matter of
and nearly
website.
that they match it. Yeah, and it says upload to the Pirate Bay or somewhere else, and there it is. It happens all the time for everything, and to me, you should expect that to happen. I mean, I wrote a book and I did an audiobook version of that, and like it showed up on the pirate sites, and I was like, yay, people like it enough to pirate it. And I'm like, oh, isn't that nice? You know, I was quite as you know, I was honored. What can I say?
Yeah.
But it's a thing to expect because things are expensive and not everybody can afford them, but they still like the entertainment factor.
Of course.
Okay, next story is this one's me. I forget who did the last one.
I'm gonna read it right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it's my turn.
Sorry.
Me. This is my moment. Man, the cast of the new DuckTales cartoon was already pretty insane, and now it's just gotten even better. Disney has just confirmed that its latest collaboration with Lin-Manuel Miranda will be DuckTales, as Miranda will be joining its voice cast as one of Duckburg's greatest heroes, Gizmo Duck, aka Fenton Crackshell Cabrera. In this new show, Fenton is a research assistant and will be working alongside Gyro Gearloose in the Scrooge McDuck's labs, helping to develop the Gizmo suit. And I gotta admit, it looks awesome.
It does.
It's awesome.
Makes me want to actually watch that program. If Gizmo Duck comes back and Darkwing Duck comes back, I'm more likely to watch the program. I mean, like the Duck character looks kind of stupid, but Gizmo Duck looks nice and interesting.
Well, that was the thing. The Duck, he was like a Joe Schmo geeky kind of guy. Then dons the armor and becomes awesome. One of the things is that I was surprised just hearing the name, Fenton Crackshell Cabrera.
Yes, they're Hispanic-ing him up.
Yeah, well, he's not a white duck.
He's a
little bit of a darker shade. I don't want to say a brown duck, but
he's cousins to them. Obviously,
yeah.
He comes from the southern side of the family.
Yeah, well, I wonder.
Isn't Cabrera the name of one of those birds from the like the Three Bird Amigos? That one?
No, but it's just I guess a type of species of duck. But the thing is, even in the world of DuckTales, I don't think you'll see a black duck.
You never know. I haven't watched the show. They may be all inclusive.
Warner
really
Brothers got it though.
You don't know.
Yeah, but let's see about James Cameron coming back to.
I already hit that one.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
But DuckTales is going to be awesome, so I want to see more.
There's a very large cast of people, and I don't know how good the animation is. I mean, we've seen the trailers for it. We showed them on the show before. Like, they look decent and clean, and that's all you can really ask for. They're very stylized for a different generation.
And they adopted it's almost not exactly Iron Man armor or Gizmo's Duck, but it does look very obviously futuristic.
It looks less wonky than the old version, which is fine. It's very superheroed up. Yeah,
sleek. I just can't wait to see it. I want to see other DuckTale characters like Glom Gold is one of the great villains. Magic of the Spell was another great one.
I'm sure they're going to bring them all out eventually if the seasons continue. It's just, getting an audience.
Totally.
So there you go. Okay, next story. Talking about superhero stuff, we have a new synopsis for the movie Thor Ragnarok. And I'll just read it to you guys. Thor's world is about to explode in Marvel's Thor Ragnarok. His devious brother Loki has taken over Asgard. The powerful Hela has emerged to steal the throne for herself, and Thor is in prison on the other side of the universe. To escape captivity and save his home from imminent destruction, Thor must first win a deadly alien contest by defeating his former ally and fellow Avenger, the Incredible Hulk. So there you go. I mean, I don't think most of this is surprising.
No, it's kind of just spoken to.
And if you look at the trailers, like at the very end of that movie, Loki was Odin, and so it shouldn't be a huge surprise that he's in that place at this point.
Oh yeah.
And I'm looking forward to just the Hulk Thor battle.
Oh yeah, that helps.
Where they can be hurt.
The trailer that set up for it was like, Hulk comes out and he's like, yes, I know him. He's a friend from work or a guy from work. Like, I work with him.
Yeah, it does kind of have that same vibe as they did a series of like shorts with like Thor as a roommate.
The one shots.
Yeah, and they were very entertaining. It kind of has that same vibe as like Thor is not taking himself seriously. Mm-hmm. They're leaning into like him as a foreigner. And as an actual alien to this planet. More so than they did in like the very first Thor film, which it was a lot more serious. And this one is that those standalones were funny and irreverent. I mean, they're just more workplace comedy, and I think they're trying to carry that tone into this new movie, which is good to me.
Yeah, I don't see more of it. I'm waiting for like more additional trailers, but I doubt it's gonna spoil too much because that one trailer that just came out for it was just amazing alone. People rewatch it.
It's still popular on the internet.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, so looking forward to watching that when it comes out. Next synopsis.
Yeah, I'm gonna get this.
That's
one?
you. Yep.
All right, the official synopsis for Black Panther has officially been released. After the events of Marvel's Captain America: Civil War, King T'Challa returns to home to a reclusive Do it for me.
Did I give you the hard one, apparently?
Technologically advanced African nation of Wakanda to serve as his country's new leader. However, T'Challa soon finds that he is challenged for the throne from factions within his own country when two foes conspire to destroy Wakanda. The hero known as Black Panther must team up with the CIA agent Everett K. Ross and members of the Dora Milaje?
We'll say Milaje, yeah.
Milaje, Wakandian special forces to prevent Wakanda from being dragged into world war.
There you go. So that's the synopsis. Prevention of war. I think it's interesting that Everett K. Ross is coming back, though. So I'm like, oh.
But which one's that one? I'm trying to remember.
I want to say that's General Ross's daughter. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just waiting. This is the film that I personally have been wanting to see because, honestly, I hope it inspires a cultural movement in, like, every community. It doesn't matter if you're a Black community, Hispanic community, wherever.
Yeah. We talked about this before at length, I think, how the Black Panther comic was not just inspirational to the Black community, but also to all ethnic communities that were underrepresented in the superhero franchise. And just, they call him the Black Panther because he's black. I mean, it wasn't, was it just like Super Panther? It was just like, and that happened with every, like, minority culture. There was, like, Black Lightning. It was another example we'll talk about later. But, like, such a strong character that didn't need Western civilization was always so inspiring to minority cultures, like, who felt reliant or conquered by white peoples.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that was always interesting, and I agree with you. I hope that this is absolutely successful and spawns a bunch of spin-offs of other minority communities where they're as powerful as all those other superheroes, because everybody should feel represented and be able to feel like they can be everything, including a superhero, in my opinion. So that's all that really is. But Hans Lehmann, the charm says, kind of makes you wonder how they even capture the Hulk. So referring to our Thor Ragnarok, I think we know how they captured the Hulk. I feel like it's going to go with the superheroes betrayed the Hulk storyline of the original Planet Hulk series, where, like, all the superheroes gang up on him as Bruce Banner, put him to sleep, and shot him off on a rocket to this planet. Yeah. I think that's the storyline they're going to go with.
I think he's going to be tricked, of course, by the trickster Loki.
You think Loki's going to get him over there?
Totally, because the whole thing, remember, if you watch Civil War, so he just took off. He literally just took off in a Quinjet but he didn't have an actual destination or whatnot. And then, obviously, they're going to work into the storyline. But I want to say Loki definitely has an involvement and just obviously manipulates him.
He's too popular of a character to not utilize him in a Thor movie. So there you go. Okay, next story is very quick. We got our first full body look at the Queen of Aquaman's Mera, the Queen of Atlantis. Very pretty costume. It's very mermaidy to me.
Well, yeah, that the scale thing. I wasn't sure
scale. I mean, to me, it almost looks like a Star Trek uniform, and less of a Aquaman.
Seriously,
uniform.
If her little Atlantean logo, if it was over her boob. Yeah, it would totally look like very Star Trek-y kind of like outfit kind of deal. And obviously she's not donning the crown in that one, but doesn't mean she's not gonna do it at all. It's very obviously form-fitting, slimming. It was just a basic costume. She never really had like kind of like weird ability. I don't think she's gonna have like weird armor, or when she touches something, it's gonna turn into like a weaponized kind of form.
Like the Power Rangers uniforms that just magically appear with them.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. I do think it's also interesting that she has wet hair, so they're not going to be like, or every time he jumps out of the water, her hair's magically blown dried.
Oh, exactly.
So that's realism, I guess.
The question with me especially for the Aquaman franchise is for the Atlanteans themselves. I wonder if they're actually going to be able to talk underwater.
Yes.
Because it better not be just like a telepathic kind of deal.
I don't think so. I mean, I'm assuming they're going to have speech bubbles. Mm-hmm. Get it? Speech bubbles.
I think it's going to be very similar to almost like the the Pirates of the Caribbean with those pirates where it looks like they have the underwater thing with their hair kind of flowing and whatnot.
Yeah, and I assume subtitles if they're going to speak Atlantean instead of like English.
Exactly, that's going to be a pro and a con because especially for both guys, both Aquaman and her, they have really long hair, and I don't know if you ever been in the water with really long hair, but
no, they actually show the footage of underwater Aquaman already. So they show the long hair going out of the back, like it's seaweed or something, So there you go. Okay, next story is going to be Venom. I remember we talked a few weeks ago about that Sony is making a standalone Venom film, and they've cast that character. It's going to be Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. So we've kind of got an idea of what Venom's going to look like, which is pleasing to me because I was concerned they were going to go with like some skinny Spider-Man version of it, like maybe a teenager again.
Topher Grace thing again.
Yeah, but in this case they're going full on, buffed out Tom Hardy, Bane as Venom.
Yeah,
kind of thing. So yeah, good.
It
good
took
for them.
me a while to realize. I'm like, who the hell's Tom Hardy? Then they're like Bane. Oh, Bane.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, I know I recognize that name. Like, where have I known him from? And it's like, yeah, Bane.
So he definitely has to build the body.
Oh, and he can totally. I mean, he's already working out for this particular character where he's like he's bulking up.
He's even teasing. He's wearing like a comic book shirt with Bane. Venom on the cover on it.
Yeah,
so,
I'm curious whether or not he had to go buy it first or he already had it in the closet.
I'd say both. He probably bought it, but until he got the part, then he donned it.
Oh, okay. Like he was up for casting, and they're like, oh, we don't want to give it to you, so you bought it just in case. You mean?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well,
yeah. My thing is, I just want to know what the approach that they're going to do with the costume wise, like comparing to the Topher Grace. I don't want it to be kind of like mimicking the old Spider-Man costume, like still having the web pattern. Definitely be all in black. Obviously, it's going to be symbiotic because of the goo. But I just
I'd rather have the goo effect than, I mean, you see the one from Spider-Man, was it 3?
Yeah.
And that one looks just...
I like it.
It looks matted as far as like the costume. It looks like a costume, like it was sewn somewhere.
Yeah.
And I get that the symbiote is copying Spider-Man's costume, but I prefer the gooey, gross look because that's representative of, I guess, the character itself and being alien and being kind of weird and looking. And it's all CGI anyway, so why not?
And the biggest thing for me, hopefully, if this movie takes off and becomes really popular,
and it is rated R.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I want to see the next evolutionary form and introduce Carnage.
Yeah. Venom has a baby by itself, and it makes Carnage, and that could very easily be a villain in this film. Although it's kind of a major villain, so I don't know if they want to do it in this particular film.
Yeah, but it's good to see. I want to see the mouth open. I want to see the teeth. I want to see the elaborate tongue.
I would love to see the origin story for Venom be the Secret Wars. Like they just do a quick shot. Like a quick backflash, like the bottom legs of Spider-Man, like grabbing some alien, then coming back to Earth, and like a quick flash, like how the Symbiote has power, and then you just go straight into Venom's story.
Yeah, because I don't think this is not going to be tied in with.
No, they said that they're going to keep this Spider-Man movie separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, even though Spider-Man: Homecoming is cross-referenced already.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, that is interesting. And it could be good, could be bad, but it does give a lot of opportunity for them to do their own storyline. Yeah. But I think it would be better for us, like, brand, if they connected it, or at least they didn't interrupt that particular story, because somebody has already invested in that franchise.
Exactly.
So why not?
I want to see it. I'm going to check it out for itself. I just don't know what storyline they're going to work with, as in, like, even though Venom is the villain, who's going to be
the anti-hero villain.
Yeah, who's going to be Venom's villain?
Well, it's the same thing with Black Adam. You have a villain story, but it also has to be a hero story. So he's going to be the reluctant hero, the anti-hero.
Yeah.
Because Venom does become a hero.
Yeah.
I mean, in many incarnations, so I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, are you going to be checking this next one out is the question. ABC is officially bringing back Roseanne for an 8-episode reboot next year. The original cast of Connors will star in the new Roseanne show, including John Goodman, apparently, who is supposed to be dead, isn't he?
Yeah, there's been I like this. One of my friends on Facebook's posting on it. That in his mind, this is how they're going to work the angle. Introduce the family, blah 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 blah. Dan Connor is going to open the door to the house, like Roseanne's going to answer, and he's going to be like, "You look like you just seen a ghost." and somehow it just kind of.
And they're just going to ignore it, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to ignore the storyline. Yeah, I mean it's not undone. I mean that's essentially what they did in the last season, when things went weird and they became millionaires.
Even
and,
with the Beckys and all that stuff, they worked it in. So
and apparently alternate Becky is also going to be in the show. The scrubster, I forget her name, but both Beckys are going to be there, just not as Becky.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
I don't think. I don't know. I think they're dead. I'm sorry to say, but is the Roseanne's mom in the TV show? She's passed, right? Unless she's alive, just not working.
I have no idea. I think it's the only thing I've ever seen her in.
Yeah,
you can look it up on IMDb if you're really interested. But she's old enough. Like I feel like Roseanne is as old as she was.
Yeah.
So
that's why I'm not sure, especially because we all saw the ending. It was all pretty much Ragnarok for her real life.
Yeah, spoilers, guys. It was a dream.
Yeah. So I'm wondering.
Dan died.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what the storyline's going to be. I want to see if Jonathan what's his real name?
Who?
Jonathan Nicky, whatever, the guy from The Big Bang Theory that was Darlene's boyfriend.
Yeah, he's still alive.
But what was his name in the character?
I don't remember, but go on.
Yeah, so if he's going to bring him back,
why not?
Bring back the other Becky's boyfriend too. To find out what's going on. I don't know if they're going to go straight to based off what real life.
I don't think they know. I mean, at this point, they just announced that they're going to do it next year, and so that's all we have for you folks. Unfortunately, we can hypothesize all day and night, but we'll just have to wait until next year until we actually get something from them. Yeah. Now, our next story. This one's actually really fun to me. I love this particular game franchise, The Witcher, and apparently Netflix is going to be making a television show based on that game property franchise. Now, originally it was a novel, and it's actually multiple novels, and then it was the rights for the video game rights were bought up by a company in the United States, and they made a ton of money on this video game franchise, and the author gets none of that.
Ooh.
And that's his fault, because he sold them outright. He didn't think anybody could make this his franchise or his novel series into a video game, and so he's like, no, just pay me now, because they offered to give him a cut of like sales for the video game.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, no, forget it. Just cash me out. And so he took a lump sum in advance, and they made millions and millions of dollars. And he gets none of that. Yeah, but thankfully, I believe he still has like the rights to the film and TV adaptations, because nobody bought them until Netflix did. So he can finally get a cut of some of this, Witcher money that's going around, because his novels are okay, but they're also unfinished. So they had to get translated into English first. But they're probably not nearly as popular as the game. Okay, so there you go. And that's it, folks. Looks like we're down to our movie trailer showdowns, and that's the end of the program. So we have 7 trailers this week that were absolutely amazing. Beginning with Black Lightning. It's a CW show. We were talking about it earlier. It's about a guy from 20 years ago who has the powers of lightning. Not quite the Flash speed, but just powers of lightning itself. And he's like a neighborhood protector character. Has a family, though, and so eventually he retires, and now he's coming back. Glow, which I thought was absolutely hilarious, this trailer. I'm looking forward to wrestling with women. And then Transformers last night. This is their final trailer. It looked interesting to me. I thought they were kind of bringing an Independence Day feel to the action, especially as the alien spheres descending through the Earth's atmosphere and airplanes shooting in. I'm like, that looks like they, copied some Independence Day, special effects. Just saying. Then after that, we have Orville, which is the hilarious-looking Star Trek parody starring Seth MacFarlane. And then we have an actual trailer for Star Trek Discovery. And then, of course, the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, which is apparently going to be a Netflix original Dark Crystal series from the Jim Henson team. So this is actually a kind of behind-the-scenes look at them making the costumes again, designing everything. I'm like, oh, looks really nice. And then Blade of the Immortal, which is I want to say, I don't know which country it's from, actually. Japan, Asia, China, South Korea. I don't know the language. It just looks awesome. Sword fighting, immortal samurai warriors, people with powers. It looks pretty cool to me. So of these 7 trailers, man, which one is the winner for you?
Honestly, I'm going to go with Blade of the Immortal.
Blade of the Immortal. Okay, perfect.
It looks very much almost like it could be an anime. It transfers you well, but the only thing I noticed, they didn't go too crazy with the effects of like crazy flipping, very like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon with weird camera angles and all that kind of stuff. But it looks really good, really good. It looks like something that I would definitely want to check out.
No, absolutely, it is very. That's going to be my favorite as well. Like on the comedy side, the Orville was funny, and there was another trailer for Young Sheldon, which is very touching and funny. But compared to these other trailers, it wasn't quite as cool.
Yeah.
My second place would going to be Glow, which is what is it? Glamorous. What is it? Remember?
Gorgeous Ladies of
Wrestling. That's it. Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, which has a great cast of female women in like the 80s who are being, who are not in prominent positions in society, because that's how the world works sometimes.
My thing with Glow is always interesting that when I saw the trailer, honestly, the lead actress, I totally got a Christian Wiig feel from her.
She is from Community. She is the I forgot her name, but she's from Community. She does a lot of other stuff. I just don't remember her name, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But she is she's funny in her own right now.
And for me, for whatever knowledge that I have in the indie wrestling circuit and stuff, I was surprised they didn't get real wrestling girls in the show. Instead of, they look like they got actresses portraying wrestlers instead of wrestlers trying to portray.
Well, that's
actresses.
kind of the point of the movie. The trailers is that the show was recruiting actresses. They weren't recruiting women wrestlers because there weren't any really. And later on, I'm sure it changes within the series, but in that first season of that show, there were actresses who just weren't getting work, and they can be famous wrestling stars at the same time. And that, I think, was a very honest way to portray wrestling, that it is not just real sportsmen. It's also acting. It's also entertainment. It's as much about the story as it is about, the athleticism of guys and ladies in spandex. And at least they're honest about that particular aspect, because then they can also tell the story of women actresses who aren't getting gigs because they look different, or because they're not as pretty and blonde and popular and skinny as people say they have to be to get parts. But at the same time, they have a place within this community on the show, and that is also part of the story. It's not just the wrestling portion of it. It's also the behind-the-scenes stuff of their community and empowering women. And I think that has a lot of potential for interesting stories, but also comedy, because these are all physical characters, and the same point as comedians. So I think it could be cool.
And we were kind of mentioning what we were talking about earlier, the quality of these TV shows.
Yeah,
it's movie quality, man. I'm surprised these things aren't playing in the theater, but especially if they're doing a TV series, hey, you're gonna have to milk it as much as you can, but you can't just be blowing it out all the time.
Alison Brie, that's her name. I was looking up the records right now. Alison Brie looks like she's the main character.
Way to go, Alison.
But you also get to see some podcasters in there. Mark Maron is also a character. Yeah. I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
So there you go, folks. Those are our movie trailer showdowns. We have 2 winners. Everyone else is, well, not losers, but they're just not as popular with us. So there you go. If you have any opinions on that, go check out our trailers in the show notes. Let us know. You can always send us an email at feedback@geekbytespodcast.com, or just shoot us a message on Facebook. We're always happy to hear from you there as well, folks. But as far as the show goes, that's it. We're done. Finito. Complete. El fin. The end. If you like the podcast, of course, you want to help support us in any way, shape, or form, you can always go to geekbytespodcast.com/support. But again, thanks for listening and watching and for geeking out with us for the Geek Bytes Podcast. I am Ramon Mejia.
I'm Edgardo Acosta.
And remember, folks, to go geek out about something.